Hey, what up, guys? It's me again, and welcome to the This Is My Moment podcast. It's Patrick Mitchell. We're in the building, and at This Is My Moment, all positivity all the time. Let's get it.
There ain't no stopping it. This is my moment. Join the movement. We bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better.
Today, I got a cat, man, that I've been knowing for a long, long time. We go way back. Before This Is My Moment, we were still doing active duty military stuff in the middle of nowhere. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, so hey, I'm Chad Thompson. So I'm an Air Force vet. Yeah. Me and Patrick go back to probably about 2012, 2013, something like that. And yeah, so I'm a dad, a full-time student. Just trying to leave my mark on the world, man. Just trying to do the best I can every day.
Before we get into the questions, man, I always like to start with a story. And this is a story, not Germany, man, when we was in Montana. So me and Chad were in Montana. Just so happened, he happened to be my supervisor. That's how it is. But we working night shift. I know you're going to know where I'm going. We're working night shift, right? And we're doing this exercise. Yeah. Yeah, we was. So we doing this exercise, right? It's just me and Chad, right? And the TV's on, man, and we're waiting for announcements to come in so we can write up these PA reports and do all this stuff and go out and take photos, whatever it was, right? And all of a sudden, we're talking, and I go to sleep on him. Mid conversation, I just go to sleep. You say what?
Late nights. I said late nights.
Man, I don't know how my supervisor just let me go to sleep on him like that while he was talking to me, but appreciate you.
You gotta watch each other's back every once in a while. So
I appreciate it.
Saw how tired you were. You needed a little nap. So
right when you was talking. Man. So besides that, man, what's been going on, Chad, man?
It's just one of those. I'm kind of back in school, kind of. I never got my bachelor's degree whenever I was in the military, so kind of got out. Just kind of explored some options for a little while, and just realized that I wanted to, get back in school and finish up a degree, and
good.
Have that piece of paper to say that I've accomplished something.
Paper and your military experience on your back, huh?
Yep, absolutely.
You good, man. You good. So I wanna ask you a quick question. What makes you smile, man? I know when I first met you when we was in Germany, you hadn't got married yet, man. You hadn't had the kids yet, man. You single out there living it up, man. And then we get to Montana, you get married, man, and I don't think I've ever seen you smile as much as when you met Sophia, brother. The Chad that I knew before Sophia, that dude wasn't that happy. How you keep positive, man? What you doing these days, man, to keep that smile on your face?
Yeah, man, it's being a dad is something else. I got a 4-year-old at the house, and I mean he's been just he's what kind of changed my whole mentality, changed my whole perspective on life. Basically, I had a really good job right after the military. I was the marketing communication director out here at the Idaho Botanical Garden, and just driving hour and a half every day. Losing that time with a 6-month-old at the house, and it was just like, man, what am I doing? This isn't what I got out of the military for. It's like I wanted to be home with family and stuff. So I kind of took a sabbatical and refocused what I wanted to do out of what I want to do with life. And since then, it's just kind of been rediscovering who I am, who Chad is versus who Matt Sergeant Thompson was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's what making you smile, just that time with the family and just understanding who you are as a person, who you grew into. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's absolutely, yeah. It's just, that rediscovery, I think, and just spending time with the family.
Yeah. And you know what, though, man? What we learned, too, man, is that no matter where we're at, it's always something new. You know what I mean? And you can be someone in Germany, and we went to Montana. You had to be someone different. Then when you get out, you don't know really who you are as a person. It's just because that's all we know. All we are is yes, sir, no, sir, left, right, left. You know what I mean? Then when you get out, you don't have that anymore. And you like, man, what do I even enjoy? You know what I mean? I don't have to boss around other people's kids no more. I don't have to worry about attitudes. I don't have to worry about somebody sending me somewhere I don't want to go. And now I'm like, man, who am I? And I'm glad that you that you find. And we were talking before the show, man, that when I first knew you retired, you was in Colorado. What happened to Colorado, man? I heard you was Idaho doing botanical garden, PA stuff. And how you getting to Idaho?
Yeah, man. It's like I said, my wife's mom ended up coming out and helping out with our son whenever he was first born.
Yeah.
And then her sister came out and helped for about a couple weeks or whatever after he was born. And it's just like I saw how important that family was to her. And yeah, I mean, Idaho was like kind of that last minute decision. It's like I had that terminal leave, and it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? And it's like, how about we go to Idaho? And she kind of like, what? Idaho? Wait. What happened to Colorado? What happened to like, no, let's do it. Let's go to Idaho.
Who just picks Idaho, Chad? Who just picks Idaho?
This is where family was, man. It's you probably know better than anybody else. The amount of time that you spent up in Montana away from your family. It's like you had that all time that makeup and stuff like that. So
you're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never know where your path gonna lead if you don't follow it, huh?
Yep. Sometimes you gotta just stop, listen a little bit, listen to what your heart's saying, head's saying, and kind of pick which one and go.
And that's some old this is my moment stuff right there, man.
There you go.
Take a chance on yourself, huh, Chad? I dig it, brother.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a question, man. Coming out the military, you had one thing in your mind. What has been the biggest misconception that you've had retiring, going into civilian life, being a dad, being a husband, man? Like, what's the biggest misconception that Chad thought? And then once he got into it, he was like, that ain't it.
Man. I honestly thought I had it figured out, right? Like I thought I was like, oh, here's my plan.
Yeah.
Military, it's like we got that plan. Let's execute that plan.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it's like I think 21, almost 21 years in the military really kind of had a pretty strong, like you don't realize how just burnt out you are and how exhausted you are, and just that life of just kind of go all the time, and honestly, it was me just kind of taking a knee, man. It's like, this is something I haven't really talked a lot about, but I've suffered with anxiety and depression for a really long time, and it's one of those things, like it's kind of consumed your life so much that it's like you don't really know what to kind of do and how to react and how to respond. And after the military, it's like I just was like, man, I gotta take care of myself. It's time for a little bit of me. And I think that's the thing that I really kind of focused on was, I feel like I've got everything together, but I just need to take care of myself for a little bit. So I'd say that's probably my biggest misconception that I've experienced since kind of retiring and joining the civilian world. So
that's heavy, man. Because I know we talked about, like different, like real life stuff outside the military when we were together. Because a lot of people don't know, man. When I was in Montana, my wife and family, they were still in Germany, and I was 18 months by myself. But in those 18 months, I had this guy with me, and he'd invite me over, and just take care of me as a person, not as a subordinate, which meant a lot to me, and it's funny because we've talked about like our deployments, we've talked about all that stuff, but a lot of times as men, we don't get into that anxiety and depression because you're not supposed to have that. Like it's taboo to be like a man and have a weakness, But I don't believe that that's the fact. I believe this is just my opinion, and agree or disagree if you want, but to me, the first thing that you can do to help yourself get past it is talk about it and be open about it and be truthful about it, and then you realize that you ain't the only one dealing with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I think there's a strength or whatever too that's comes with like kind of admitting your weaknesses, I think. And I mean, it's something that I've tried to start talking a little bit more about, just because I know there's a lot of issues with it, and I'm trying to be as open as I can in most cases. So
do you find a healing in that? Like when you talk to people and you like not covering up, like being like truthful and honest about it, are you like you find that you making steps forward and coping with it and dealing with it, or is it just kind of just like talking about it and just talking about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels almost like a weight kind of lifted up off your chest, right? I mean, it feels like you're not being your true self, or you're hiding things about yourself that,
Right.
you know, it's just any of those mental health issues, I think, are kind of difficult to talk about. You know, a lot of people in the military deal with PTSD,
Yeah.
you know, depression, anxiety,
Yeah.
just, I mean, everyday stress. And you just, every once in a while, you just gotta stop, take a knee, and you know,
Yeah.
maybe talk about it with talk about it with a friend, or talk about it with family, or something along
Yeah.
those lines. And yeah, I think it definitely helps to talk about it.
It's huge to have an outlet. So let me ask you this, man. When you, like for me, right, I talk about it, but some days I still get down, right? And I have days where I'm not, this is my moment. And that's a true story. You know what I mean? Every day is not a hey kind of day, right? Some days it's like, when you get down, man, where's your happy place? Like, where do you go to get yourself back to, like this Chad right here, the smiling, the laughing? You know what I mean? Where do you go?
I mean, that's kind of the same thing. It's like making my son kind of belly laugh is probably like one of the best healing moments that you can have in your life,
Yeah.
right? It's like you get down on the floor, start wrestling around, tickling him and stuff like that, and just, I mean, just seeing him light up just from just, I mean, like we took him over to a little park here the other day, just to kind of get him out, get him some activity, and he's running around and just like, I mean, he's, man, that's the thing too. It's like he is such a social person. I don't know where he gets it from, because both me and his mom are a little bit introverted and whatnot.
Yeah.
But man, he'll just get out and just run around, just talk to people, and
Yeah, having a good
hey,
time.
how's it going? Like, hey, what's your name? So I mean, he's my happy place, 100%.
Yeah, it's like he ain't never met a stranger, huh?
Man, no, oh, that's, I mean, me and my wife were talking about that too. Like that stranger danger. It's like, man, he's good. We're gonna have to like stop and like really like, all right, now you can't do that like, we can't be like that all the time. Sometimes you have to be careful of, you know, your surroundings and who you're talking to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, like, I want him to stay, you know, stay that way as long as possible. Let him enjoy
Yeah,
his
yeah.
childhood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just, you know, we're there to keep an eye on him. So
Yeah. And you don't never want to dampen that spirit, man. Like that is what you want. And just like look at you now, man. Like you talking about it, dude, and your face getting red. You cheesing on me. You loving it, man. I am so
yeah.
like, man, I've seen you.
The other part too is like being here in Idaho, man, having him close to family, being able to go over and hang out with the
Yeah.
nephews and the niece, and
Yeah.
hang out with grandma and grandpa. And I mean, that's just priceless to me. I mean, that's
Yeah.
time that you can't give up. So
Yeah.
it's just amazing kind of being here in Idaho and be able to kind of do that kind of stuff too. And I think one of my most, like, one of the things I can't wait to teach him is how to fish too. That's, you know, he's still a little young. He won't sit still long enough to probably stay in a boat or
Yeah.
whatever. But that's something me and my dad did all the time, and one of those memories that I have a lot of fond memories of was, you know, that time spent with dad just fishing. So
Yeah.
looking forward to do that.
I dig it, man. I look at you, man, and I left first. I left the military first, and you was still up there, man. And I came back, you know what I mean. And I've been all over the place, man. I've been doing all kind of stuff, man. And I saw you at the end. You know what I mean, before you got ready to call it. I think I was there when you put your paperwork in. I think I was still there. I was getting ready to call it. If I'm not, I think you put your paperwork in right at the time when I was leaving. But I was so, like, I was impressed with you because in Germany, right, I remember sending you to TDYs and deployments, right, because that's where I worked at, and you worked down there, and I was kind of,
I wasn't.
Kept me busy.
Yeah, I did.
Who's sending me all? Who's doing this stuff? Oh, that's Mitchell. Mitchell's in there just sending me up. Oh, we got a new spokesperson down in Africa, Chad
Yeah, I did.
Thompson.
and you know what's funny? I laugh, right? I went from sending you places, right, to being your subordinate, which kind of sucks for me because I didn't know if it was gonna be any get back. Like I going down, I sent you like at least three trips I've sent you on, like personally.
Hey, I wasn't complaining. It was you sent me on some good stuff, man.
Yeah, we had some
Love
good-
those humanitarian missions and stuff like that.
We had some good runs. So let me ask you this, man. Do you have a favorite quote? I know you've been around, you've seen a lot of stuff, man, a lot of different places. Is there any particular quote that sticks out in your mind that's maybe not takes you to your happy place because that's your son, your family, being around family, but Chad's quote that doesn't pertain to any of them? I'm talking about you. What's your quote? What's your go-to?
Yeah. So I mean, I struggled a lot. This is another reason why I'm kind of back in school right now. But man, I struggled, you know, just trying to find. That might also be in kind of just being here in Idaho and whatnot too. Just not have the same type of job market some other places. But
Yeah.
it was rough. I mean, I probably applied for 160, 170 jobs. You know, just getting a lot of rejections. And I
Yeah.
think one of those things that I like, just a little silly quote was kind of rejection is just a redirection. Trying to send us. And I don't know if that's trademarked someplace where I heard it, where I read it. I don't know what it is, but that's one that kind of stands out. And then another one, kind of a little bit more deep quote, was something that Thomas Edison said. And he said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to just try one more time." And I mean, you think of somebody that was an inventor and just like, you know, one of the leaders of our nation and stuff like that. And like, I mean, he probably saw failure more than anybody else, right? And
Right.
you know, if he wouldn't have tried that one more time, he wouldn't have, you know, invented the light bulb, and
Yeah.
you know, we wouldn't have
Yeah.
a nation that's so great, so many great freedoms and stuff that we get to enjoy every day. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty powerful quote that I've kind of lived and used as a little bit of a mantra right now going back to school.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, both of them fit, man. Like I don't think you could go wrong with either one of them, man. Because I talk to a lot of people, right? And I think a lot of times it's that same thing that I always bring up, man, is like take every shot. Even if you miss, like keep shooting. You know what I mean? And I was the same way, right? When I got out, right, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? And I've been retired 5 years, Chad. I done had 7 jobs.
I hit my 4 years, so
Yeah.
so
So, yeah,
we're right
well,
up there.
7 jobs, Chad. I've had 7 different jobs. I don't know what I want to do, but you know what? I keep shooting. I keep shooting. And you know, the only thing that's been steady right now for me, man, is this is my moment, right? It keeps me motivated, keeps me happy, and it's all keeps me centered. Yeah, yeah.
That nice happy place.
Man, this is my moment, is my happy place, man. But you know what? I keep shooting though. I keep shooting. Because
Yeah, I mean, we got to, right? I mean, there's no other option, especially
Ain't
with
no-
kids and stuff like that. There's no other option but to keep shooting. Can't just
Yeah.
like throw up the hands like, I don't want to be an adult anymore. Like,
Yeah.
nah, you got people looking up to you now, though, brother.
You
not
got
and literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you always been the tallest cat in the room, though. You always been that guy, man. So this the deal, man. I had a great time. I like the reminiscing. I love seeing your face, man, because it's just what it is. I remember you picking me up in the truck, man, and taking me somewhere in the mountains.
That was my house.
I know it was your house.
Where are we going? Taking you to my house.
Man, this dude finna take me in the backwoods of Montana somewhere. You know what's funny, right? We get up there. I remember we was playing the game, but before we did all that, right? We was out there cooking and grilling, and man, there's no Wi-Fi, man. I ain't got no connection. Like it's just like deers and stuff is running through the yard. I'm like, man, dude, where am I? And this cat, he's just like,
welcome home. Welcome home.
Nah, take me back.
I mean, that's kind of my happy place too, is like just kind of disconnecting. And it's I mean, with the society and culture the way it is today, you gotta just take that time and just disconnect from your devices and
get rid of that.
all the emails and all that. You just got to take that time to reflect and recuperate and recharge. And so
it's super important, man. But I wanted to get to my part of the show. Yeah.
Let's go.
So here's the deal, guys. Everybody knows it. This is not a secret. What episode is this, Ashley?
10.
So this is episode 10. And for the last 10 episodes, I know, right? I'm cooking, right? So this is the deal, though. I've always given the answers. Every single person before you have had the answers. You've had the answers. You got the questions, so everything is not a surprise. Well, oh, he's going to ask me this. Yeah, I know, because he sent me the questions. But these next 3, you don't know. At the end of every show, I like to finish with a word phrase association game. No bailout. You got to choose one or the other.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go to work. Active duty, being retired.
Oh, retired 100%. 100%. There's days where I kind of look and I miss the stuff that we were doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things, right? Like we try to do our best to train those people behind us to take over for us when we're gone. And I couldn't be more happy to see my Air Force the way it is right now. We got great leadership.
Yeah.
We got, all of my airmen are now master sergeants.
Yeah.
I got one that's a first sergeant. I got one that's working for the chief master sergeant of the Air Force. And I mean, I couldn't be happier with those little small things that you do in life just to kind of try to help people along their way. I wouldn't give up in the world, but I'm happy to have my DD 214.
High Club 214 in the building.
Got that blue card.
We old. Second question. Germany. TD Wise. Montana being in charge. Missiles changing the way that people are looking at how we do business up north. Where you going? Germany, TD Wise, Africa, all these good ones. Or you actually changing the way that people see the northern tier bases. Where you at, Chad?
I'd have to go Germany on that one because I think one of the things that, I feel I did a good job as being the manager for the 341st Missile Wing Public Affairs Office, but
yeah,
something that I'm looking back on, it's like I miss that work. I miss being that go-to, like, hey, I need you to go do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'd ever want to travel that much now, being a dad and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that kind of led me to kind of getting out too. But man, it's like I did a lot of great stuff all over Africa. I did a lot of great, that was my assignment that I reminisce about all the time, was just the work that I did there. And the stuff that I talk about whenever I have my job interviews, and the stuff I talk about whenever I'm, just talking to random people. It's like, I think I talk more about Germany and Africa than just about anything else. So just a lot of, we did a lot of great work there, man. It was groundbreaking. And now, again, it's like you look back and they're running with it. So
we had a good run over there, man. And I tell you what, how many people just said I get to go to Africa?
It's like National Geographic, like dream.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. So we're gonna go with Germany over Montana. That's what I'm hearing.
Germany over Montana.
Too easy. Last one. When I tell you this is my moment, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? This is my moment.
It's just one of those. It's like take hold of life. Like we've only got one life to live, right? We've only got today. We don't know if we got another minute from now.
Yeah.
So like take the moments that we have right now and just do the best that we can with them. So that's and then like I really like, this is my moment. Like I see, just the future of our future generations. It's like doing the best we can right now so they have something to look forward to, whether it's they have national parks to look for, whether they have the same freedoms that we have right now. It's like gotta take every moment, because we never know when it's our last.
I dig that. You know what, I was telling the cat the other day, man, I said, I'm running out of summers. Every year that you live, man.
Oh man.
So what are you doing to leave your legacy, right? And when I say legacy, you talk about it. You didn't say legacy, but that's what you said. When you see your airmen and you see your son, you see you giving back to your family, you putting back into the community, that's legacy. A lot of people look at legacy as far as financial, right? And I was telling the cat, man, like, I'm running out of summer, so I got to do everything that I can to make sure when I'm done, like, I may only touch 100 people, right? But those 100 people touch 100 people.
Yeah, if you think about that, like, just the people that we've worked with, like the people that, I always thought about that, like, where are some of those people that I worked with in Africa? Like, how is what we did there, how has that just blossomed and helped others and just spread? And it's whatever it's like whenever you see the things with like, I can't even like pandemics and whatnot. I mean, it's the same. We can have the same effect on people
Yeah.
that that you see from pandemics, and it could spread just as quickly.
Yeah.
Having that positive effect on people could do a lot for everybody. So,
Man, thanks a lot, Chad.
congrats, man. Congrats on all the success you have with this stuff too, man. It sounds like I hope to see you on like a NBC or Good Morning America or something like that here soon. And
Man, me too.
just spreading positivity. I appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate it. Chad, thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you, Patrick.
Hey, guys, if you don't have someone that you can reminisce with and laugh with, man, and grow with, someone that you can count on even when it's been years apart, find you somebody to get in your corner. Find you somebody that claps for your success. Find you somebody that's genuinely ride for you. It's been real, guys. Go get it!
There ain't no stopping it, this is my moment. Join the movement, we bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better.